The CREA-STAR railing welding gauge, back to the roots, back to where it all began. For almost 30 years, it has been on the market and has become an indispensable tool in metal construction. Maybe you have never seen the CREA-STAR before, have always wanted to know how it works, or perhaps you already own one but are not completely sure how to use it properly. In this video, I will show you step by step how to work with the railing welding gauge correctly. Here we have a profile tube, a bottom rail, and an infill bar. Railing construction is essentially nothing more than joining different materials together, not in terms of the material itself, but in terms of dimensions. Normally, we want the infill bar to be perfectly centered. In this example, we have an offset of 2.5 mm on one side and already 7.5 mm on the other side. That means we are dealing with different offsets. Normally, these differences would already have to be compensated for on your table or frame using shims or spacers. With the CREA-STAR, however, I can adjust this directly on the welding jig itself. To do this, I first place the welding jig into this position, loosen the arms, and then adjust them accordingly. You can see the measuring scales here. With these, I can directly set the desired offset. In our example, I set an offset of 2.5 mm here. I repeat the same process on the opposite side and then make a slight correction in the center. The exact same procedure is carried out on the other side, except there we are working with a 7.5 mm offset. The next step is adjusting the stop rail. On both sides of the supports, or arms, there are measuring scales. I now move to the center and make sure the railing is positioned centrally. In my example, the measurement is 160 mm. I set the exact same value on both the left and right sides. This ensures that the railing is aligned parallel to the base unit and that I will later achieve a precise right angle, the basis for building a perfectly straight railing. On one side, I then move the stop rail out of the way. Now we can already begin inserting the infill bars. These can simply be screwed into the rotating plates. As standard, there are 20 axes available with center distances ranging from 100 to 140 mm. It is important to note that we always refer to the center distance and not the clear opening dimension. The infill bars are then inserted. Now comes the first real wow effect of the CREA-STAR. As soon as I pull and close the system together, you can see that thanks to the patented scissor system, the spacing always remains perfectly even. I now take the bottom rail, place it into position, and pull the scissor mechanism together until both sides are flush. Then I tighten everything securely. After that, I move to the other side, take the handrail or top rail, slide it into place, and hold it firmly using my hip. At this point, the railing is already ready for welding. One very important point, the ground clamp must be attached directly to the railing. The welding machine's ground clamp is attached to the frame. Only then do we begin welding. One major advantage of the CREA-STAR railing welding gauge is that you can weld directly. There is no need to first tack everything together or spot weld it, as is commonly done. Instead, you can start welding immediately. This means everything that is currently in the welding position is welded directly, followed by the opposite side. Afterwards, the entire construction can simply be rotated. As you can see, there is plenty of room for welding. This means the complete railing element can be fully welded in a single setup. Once everything is welded, the construction is rotated back, opened, and the entire railing element can be removed from the welding jig in one single movement. For a standard straight railing, this results in a time saving of approximately 30 to 40%. Would you like to know how to build a staircase railing using the CREA-STAR? Then let's continue. For a staircase railing, the bars are inserted in a cross pattern. This means that 19 axes remain available, with a maximum center distance of 120 millimeters. One important thing to understand: when the scissor system is adjusted, two things happen simultaneously. Not only does the spacing change, but the angle changes as well. That is why you cannot simply pull the system apart and assume everything will fit automatically. For this purpose, there is a special tool included with every railing welding jig, a calculation table that works in any version of Excel. Before starting, you enter the length of the bottom rail, the incline angle, the maximum desired center distance, and the bar thickness. These values are entered into the light blue fields. The table then automatically calculates all important values in the dark blue fields, including construction length, number of bars, clear spacing, and much more. The most important value for production is the scissor adjustment value. In our example, this value is 2,270 millimeters. There is a measuring scale directly on the welding jig for this purpose. The scissor mechanism is adjusted precisely to 2,270 millimeters. It is also very important that the scissor system on the opposite side is fully extended to its end stop. Next comes the second value, the so-called length difference on the right support arm. In our example, this value is 49 millimeters. Once again, the two support arms with measuring scales are used. The calculation is very simple. On the left side, a base value of 100 millimeters is set, measured from the outside. Then the 49 millimeters are added, resulting in 149 millimeters on the right side. There is also a special angle gauge included as a tool. Its 0 point is located in the center, allowing it to display the exact angle directly without any calculations. The angle gauge is placed against the stop rail and aligned with the infill bar. In our example, it shows exactly 31 degrees, precisely the value that was previously set. If the angle does not match, either incorrect values were entered or incorrect specifications were provided by the designer. After that, the bottom rail is repositioned once again. Then we move back to the opposite side, take the top rail, and gently press it into place so the bars do not shift. And once again, one very important point for the springs: the ground clamp must be attached to the railing, while the welding machine's ground clamp is attached to the frame. Then everything is ready for welding. Another major advantage of the CREA-STAR is that staircase railings can be welded with virtually no distortion. Once again, everything is welded directly in the current working position, followed by the opposite side, and the railing is finished. Have you ever built an angled railing this quickly before? If you would like to know more or need detailed information and specifications, we are here for you. Feel free to contact us.